At least you have a hobby when you retire. That's what somebody told me recently over lunch. And I know she meant it kindly, but it stayed with me for a few days. And it stayed with me because there is a distinction between a hobby and a career. And for me, as an artist, this is a career and a vocation. So today in this video, I'd like to talk to you about the distinction between a hobby, a job, a career, and a vocation. And that distinction matters. So let's dive in. So, a hobby. A hobby is something you do when you have free time. It is for personal fulfillment. It brings you joy and you love doing it. It is something that you could do at any spare moment, any time of the day. And there is no deadline, there are no timelines to do it. So if your hobby is reading books, you can read books any free moment you have, and it gives you so much pleasure. When I was a kid and when I was growing up, I painted as a hobby. I painted whenever I have free moment, the weekends, summer vacation, Christmas vacations. That's when I painted, and it gave me so much joy. I didn't sell any work, and I didn't have any deadline to produce work. It was just primarily a hobby. So, a job. A job is the work you do mainly to earn an income and to meet your financial responsibilities. When you have a job, you are committed to do some work, and when you do the work, you earn a salary for it or you get paid for it. So, in my example, as an artist, I started teaching. And so for me, teaching became a job. It became work. So with the teaching responsibility, I had to produce a course curriculum. I had to abide by the gallery standards. I had to teach students to learn how to paint, whether it be oil or acrylic or mixed media. And I had to show up. I had to be on time. It's not like a hobby that you would just do it on your free time. This time there is responsibilities and you get paid for it. And I loved it. I loved teaching. This what opened doors for me, and it gained I gained so much from it, and I met so many people who have become friends and are still friends till this day. And this, for me, was the start of my career. I knew I loved teaching and I knew I wanted to grow with it. I wanted to grow with my students. And it became more than just a job because now I'm moving on to art as a career. So now we enter a career, which is where I am right now. A career is a long term professional path. That's where I am. And from this long term professional path, within it comes experience, skill development, professional growth, trials and tribulations and successes, juried shows, achievements, and continuous work. So, in this path where I am right now, my teaching led me to doing shows. So, I started with community shows and then national shows, juried exhibitions, and then gallery representation. And I'm continuing to develop that. It is something I am pursuing, and I have many, many goals in my line of work that I do hope that I would achieve. In this career path, I'm also selling my work. I'm selling my work at art shows and applying for grants. Of course, you don't get every grant. It's very hard to apply for grants, but you still try. You still try and pursue that. And also in this career path, I started planning, organizing, and establishing my plein air retreats, which I love so much and I look forward to every fall, is taking a group of artists up north here in Ontario to paint outdoors. And I thoroughly enjoy that. And that is something that I will continue to do and continue to pursue for as long as I can. And finally, a vocation. A vocation is a deep calling. It is something that comes from within. And for me, art is something that comes from within. And I will continue to paint for as long as I can. And I will continue to pursue art as long as I'm alive. So for me, I am proud to be called a painter, and I will paint as long as I live. Now, art can be all four. It could be a hobby, it could be a job, it could be a career, and it could be a vocation. For me, it is all three. It is a career, it is a job at the same time, and it is a vocation. So at the end of the day, I think the person that told me that you're lucky that you have a hobby when you retire, I don't think they meant to diminish what I do. So I think, in fact, this has taught me something important. It taught me to reflect on what I'm doing. It taught me to reflect that many people still don't understand that when they see a painting, they don't see what happens behind the work. They don't see what happens behind the work. They don't see the business side of it. They don't see the marketing side of it, the teaching, the experiences behind of it, the ups and downs, the trials, the successes, the tribulations. They don't see the travel. They don't see the persistence in pursuing the work. So I hope that this little short conversation enlightened you a little bit uh, into what I do in my career. And, I'd love to hear from you too if you have anything to share. I'd like to hear if if you're an artist, whether you're a dancer or a sculptor or a musician, has somebody mentioned something about your career, maybe diminish it in a different way and let me know what you thought about it. Because really, art for me can be all three. It is not a hobby, it is a job, a career, and a vocation. So if you enjoyed this conversation, please give me a like and subscribe to my video. And I'd really like to hear your inputs as to what you think about our conversation today. I think I'm going to have more reflections and thoughts and conversations. And I'd really like to make it a two-way street so we can chat. Okay? So if you like this video, please press a like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Sweet out. Bye for now.